Another way of recognizing witchcraft attacks is oftentimes people will come to you and try to give you something of a food or drink with the intent of performing witchcraft on you through the food or the drink. So be careful of people that has deceit and hate in their heart toward you.
Or chocolate.
Why would you take food from someone you know they have no they have no care about you, and you know that they are your enemy. So be careful of what you take from people. Proverbs 23:6 says, warns, eat not the bread of him who has a hard, grudging, and envious eye, neither desire his dainty foods. So right here, the scripture warns us about taking food from people who have a hard, grudging, and envious eye. You know that person that's envious against you, but yet you sit down with them and you eat their food. So you need to start being prayerful. You need to be seeking God and be wise about the food and the drink that you eat. And another thing to recognize witchcraft attacks is through night terrors, nightmares, and sleep paralysis. And so if you're having night terrors or nightmares, sleep paralysis, there's a potential assignment of witchcraft against you. So you want to pray and ask God, is this coming from witchcraft? Where is this coming from? You know it's not from God, and you know it's demonic inspired. So you want to pray and take a stand against witchcraft assignments of night terrors, nightmares, and sleep paralysis. And another thing that we want to recognize that may come from witchcraft attacks is our souvenirs and charms. So we want to be careful about souvenirs and charms. And, you know, people, they like to wear these necklaces with the charms on it, or the bracelets with the charms, or they like to go and get these souvenirs in various places or from other countries. We don't want to bring something into our home and there's a demon attached to it. Mm-hmm. We don't want to bring something into our home and cause our home to be cursed, because definitely the makers or the manufacturers of a lot of these souvenirs and charms, there have been incantations placed upon them, and there are demons attached to these charms or souvenirs. And then you start wondering, why is it that you're having so many problems in your life? That is because you're carrying around with you souvenirs and charms that has been demonically placed through witchcraft, these assignments that come through witchcraft. And oftentimes people go to other countries and they may bring home like a picture or a mask, and definitely there have been incantations placed upon these things. So you want to be wise and discerning when you want to purchase these things and bring them back to your home. And
speaking of this, I was watching the show This Is Us, and the Manny, they call him, the blonde guy, his girlfriend had a whole room dedicated with Japanese souvenirs, and she had a mask, and it was a double mask. Why the hell would you want to have that in your house? But she put that in she put that in the room. But it's really the people on the show bought that mask and put that in the room because they want us to decorate our houses like that, because they know, like this lady saying, that the stuff is witchcraft and they need everybody to be on board with them. See, like, if you look at it, like, no normal human being would buy a mask with a devil face on it. Like, it completely was carved in a devil face. Like, why would you even want that in your house? She's like, yeah, I decorated it because when I went to Japan, I liked their stuff. I'm like, that you're gonna like? No, you don't put that shit in your house. Well, even when you go to somebody's house, like they invite you over and you see stuff like that, you gotta get out of there as quickly as possible because that's a witch. And that's why I don't go to anybody's house. And I don't invite anybody here because I don't know what the hell they got going on them. I don't know what kind of demons they got. They could steal something, bring it home, and then do something with it. I've heard horror stories, so I'm sure somebody has stolen something from my house more than once and did witchcraft with it. And even if you're still friends with them, you don't realize that they're doing that. The next time they come over, they can put it back, If you say, oh, my thing is missing, or whatever it's missing, and they realize, oh shit, that that's missing, because they took it home to do witchcraft on it, and then the next day they'll bring it to your house and put it back where they found it. So to confuse you, to think that you was, seeing things. And then all of a sudden you get nightmares and all kinds of stuff. And now you have to throw that out, even if it wasn't demonic in the first place. But you have to throw it out because somebody took it and did something with it. People are ridiculous. Okay.
I would advise people to leave those things right where they are at. Okay, I want to read to you Revelations chapter 21, starting at verse 7. It says, he who overcomes shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. But the cowardly, unbelieving, abominable, murderers, sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. And so we want to make sure that we are not living in this category of what I just read. We want to make sure that our lives are surrendered to the Lord Jesus Christ. We're loving him and we're walking upright, and we're not practicing any of these things that we just talked about today.
Exactly. And that's why they hate us. And that's why they do these things to us. They figure we'll never find out about it, but trust me, we find out. I guess she's finished talking. They also will take your name and write it down on a piece of paper and roll it up like a scroll and hide it in the fridge behind like food. When they want to do witchcraft to you, they do that. Then they do witchcraft with food. They make it and then they put it on your windowsill. Not throw it on the windowsill like I had. She got mad that I wouldn't take the bread or the chocolate, so that's why she kept throwing it. She got angry. But like the pastor was saying the other day, they could fast for like 50 days straight. And we don't have to fast that long. We could fast for like maybe 2 or 3 days, just to re-energize. But they have to, because when they do the stuff, it's gonna be more. They're more of, they think it's more powerful, but it's not. It's just, they don't understand that the demons don't really have power. God has the power. He will always have the power. So now here's another video over here called Correct Applications of the Jezebel Spirit. Look, there is power in the name of Jesus Bible preaching. So I'm starting to watch certain videos. I have a list of videos that I want to watch, so I know what to expect from these demonic fucking people. Excuse my language, but like I heard all these stories and I see all these videos. I'm like, wow, I didn't have it that bad. But that is a form of gang stalking. Witchcraft is a form of gang stalking. So just know that you're not alone. They used to have forums on Google, I think, that people would talk about this kind of stuff, and that's how I found out that other people were getting bread and chocolate and all that kind of stuff too. And then I went on YouTube and there was a witch telling everybody how to get friendships and love by doing those things. And they made like a jar and they put it on the ground. I don't know what they put in the jar. I don't want to know. Don't need to know. And like you saw the witch jar in my neighbor's backyard. So that's just to make the garden grow. That's what they think it's doing. That doesn't make your garden grow. When you put soil, fresh soil, you put the seeds of the stuff you want to plant, or flowers or vegetables or whatever, fruit. Then you pat the soil down. Then you water it, and then you go out there and water it every single day. And then eventually you don't have to water it that much, like once a week or twice a week. Not every 5 minutes like he was doing. Oh my god, that damn camera app went off so many times. Every time he would be out there. He was like obsessed with he was obsessed with spying on me. And they were actually very mad that we grew vegetables and flowers in our backyard. Because we don't have the witch jar, so they were actually very mad at us for that. Oh well. We don't do witchcraft around here. I don't know what to tell you. And first of all, when my father used to garden, he saved all the string beans and the cucumbers and the tomato seeds. He stored them in like little containers. So that's how we got it. We got the seeds from that. And they last a long time too. When you have to see the big ass cucumbers we got and long ass string beans. Oh my god, those are the best string beans ever and the best cucumbers. So much better than the store. So that's what I'm saying. All you gotta do is just take care. If you want to garden, you go to Home Depot. They show you how to do it. And you can even go on YouTube. They have tutorials. But Amazon. I guess we can go there too for garden equipment. But Home Depot has a lot of good stuff. And they have organic soil too. Like, you know what I mean. So they have the pots to put them in, the tools, everything. Even they have starter plants too. That's how most people that don't do witchcraft, they start their garden by starter plants, like plants that already, grow a little bit. And they have that at Home Depot. You just pick them out, you bring them home, you plant them, and you water it, and take care of it. They have tutorials on how to do that. But don't resort to the witch jars because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're relying on the worst things. They're relying on deities instead of God for their growing. So they're never going to stop. They really do believe it works when it doesn't. And there's somebody that told me if a witch hates you, they piss in a jar and they put all this stuff in the jar, like really gross stuff. I don't know what. I just know there's piss in there. And they walk past your door and they open the jar and throw the piss at your door. Like when you first leave your house, they'll do that. And then you come home, you smell piss in front of your door. You're like, what the hell is that shit? Meanwhile, it's them. So if you live in an apartment building, where the keyhole is, you should get a spy camera and put the camera facing, on top of the peephole from your side, so you could, always see who's coming in and out. Or you could put it on the outside of your door. Either way, so you get get the actual face of the person who's doing stuff. You just gotta be aware of this kind of stuff, And then there was a video of this guy living in an apartment building, and he said in between the hallway there was a latched area, I guess where the pipes are. I don't know if it's sewage pipes. I don't know what kind of pipes they were. But it had a metal latch to it, and it was a metal door. I guess it's like a drainage pipe, because I have something similar in my house. And he said he saw, he kept seeing people walking past at all hours of the night and day. He said, what the hell are they doing? And one day he saw this door. He opened it and saw there was witchcraft items in there. So somebody was, doing witchcraft. He thinks it's more than one person that was doing that, and so more than one person in the building, not just him. Like they aimed it at him first, and then they did it to other people. But they were hiding all the witchcraft items in that door. So if you see some weird door, what is that doing there? And even when the maintenance people, they have to look through the light fixture I guess the electrical cabinet. I don't know what it's called, but they would probably put the stuff in there too. So just be aware of all that stuff happened when you're living in an apartment building. Even if you own a house, you should check all the closets and drawers and everything after you move in. If you find that stuff, you gotta take it outside and burn it. And you have to get like an exorcist because there's gonna be demons after that. They're gonna be dormant because that stuff's been there for a long time. And then once you do that stuff, you gotta, chase them out. Never play games with them. Never invite them in. Just make sure you get all the stuff corrected. Like my old bedroom had some symbols on the back of the door. There was 2 kids living there, 2 boys, and they were drawing stuff, I guess, on the back of the door, like symbols and stuff. But instead of, I don't know, painting the door over or something, the owner, shellacked it. And then they had like a special lock too. There was like an extra lock on the door. I didn't notice any of the stuff. I was living there for a long time, a couple of years, long, since I was like 7. And right before, I was like a year after I had to leave because we have a tenant. I look over at the door. I was just sitting and watching TV. I look over at the door. I'm like, what is that? So it was like a pencil, I guess, and like some symbols, like a weird cross and everything. And then all of a sudden there was something else in a red crayon or red colored pencil. Something said red, and then it said something else. I couldn't make up the words because it was so shellacked, the door. So they were probably doing witchcraft in that room. And that makes a lot of sense. You know, I didn't have any good experiences up there. So, I don't know. And that guy was a Mason, so the husband. And unfortunately, my father was too. I should look up the lodge that he came from. All the way in Italy. Or Germany. I think it was Germany. So funny, he never really talks to me much. And you know, when he's like, I went to Germany. I'm like, uh-huh. And how would I go anywhere if you don't let me leave the house to work? And let's get that right. Like, everybody was all on his side. Come on now. You don't want me leaving my house because you think I'm sleeping around. I don't know where you got that idea from, the demons. But I wasn't allowed to leave the house to work or have friends or a boyfriend, but yeah. I was supposed to go to Germany. So now I know why he said he was going to Germany. He went to the stupid castle where the Illuminati is the actual castle where they started. And they do way worse rituals than they do anywhere else. That's where the ritual started. I don't even want to talk about what they do to the children. Yeah. Oh, it's on here. It's on YouTube. They didn't take it down. I forgot what kind of cult it's called. It's Illuminati-esque. The Queen of England is involved. I can't really check it right now. Hold on, let me see. Let's see, where is it? iWokeness News is the YouTube channel that has that video. It's pretty disgusting. I mean, these people do all this stuff in secret, thinking they're getting away with everything, but they're not. God is seeing everything they're doing. God is watching every bad thing they're doing. Why do you think the world is in turmoil for? He's getting people back for doing this stuff. So don't worry. If we're getting targeted like this, it sounds weird, but it's a good thing. You heard the lady, what she was saying in Proverbs and all that. Yeah.